Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege and pleasure talking to you once again on the topic of personal leadership. I thought that I will continue the discussion which we have commenced in the last session. That in page number 17, in this the first chapter which I commenced on the personal leadership, I have spoken about why CEOs are highly paid. So I answered this question in order to set the tone that what kind of skill sets we need to develop going forward. So one of the most important aspect to understand is among the various creations, human beings, as I mentioned to you in my previous sessions, have born with a certain extraordinary competences. So among the whole evolution, you will find that only after the human beings have come into existence, there has been a lot of creations, man-made creations in this whole planet called Earth. So the thinking being come into existence, that means all of us are born with certain capability to think. But what extent we have been using our various thinking faculties varies from person to person. So one important aspect to understand, if you look at the whole mankind in the last several centuries, there are millions and billions of people who have just been waiting for something to happen. So several billions of people in the planet are followers basically, meaning that they have no clue what needs to be done for making the humanity as a more comfortable place. So large number of people are remaining as followers for variety of reasons that they have no clue what they can really do differently for the whole mankind to become more comfortable to live in. So with the result, what is happening is there are very few people have come forward and then they have really questioned the way in which our human life is going on, and they have made a huge significance for the transformation of this whole human life. So they could be in the form of prophets who came once in 1,000 years or so and then given entirely a different direction to human beings to live in a different way. And there could be a lot of inventors who came and discovered or invented many different forms of gadgets, and thereby they have made human life more comfortable. And there are many leaders came into existence, and then they created a different kind of a civilization for human beings to live on. So you will find there are very minor number of people who have used their human faculties to the fullest extent and then created an entirely different kind of life for everyone. That means there are people who visualized and brought in changes in the whole way our life goes on, either through scientific inventions or discoveries of natural forces, and then utilizing them for the benefit of mankind and so on. So it's extremely important to understand that the human beings have made a choice either to make a difference before they leave this planet, or just live by like any other vegetable, and then they just make use of what is the creations that are brought about by the rest of the people. So that means human beings are belonging to two categories. One category of directing, the other category is doing. So let us try to understand the difference between directing and doing. So if you take any good movie that you have seen, there is somebody called a director who has taken the entire responsibility of visualizing the movie script and then orchestrating in the form of a nice movie which we are able to sit and enjoy. There is somebody who visualized the whole movie and then directed many people to do their bit, and then created a masterpiece. So that means that is a different kind of ability, that directing. Similarly, a music director, if you take, he just created the tune out of the blue, and then he has converted that into a wonderful music presentation which we are able to appreciate. So that means everything starts with the conceptualization. That means visualizing something which doesn't exist, and then trying to give it a shape in the form of manifesting their imagination into reality. So one example I can think of, I read somewhere in one of the books that when Disneyland was created, so Walt Disney visualized the whole thing and then created the Disneyland, which is a wonderful place for anybody to go. And during the time the Disneyland was inaugurated, Walt Disney was not there, he passed away. So a lot of people were sitting in the inauguration, they were talking. One of the persons said, "Oh my God, it's such a beautiful place Walt Disney created, but he's not there to see." The other person is believed to have told him that he has seen first before all of us could see. That means he has seen the Disneyland in his mental picture, which subsequently he made it into a reality. So what is important, as Stephen Covey says, everybody thinks first and then converts into a reality. That means everything begins in the mind. That means the mind visualizes as a thought, and that is getting converted into a reality. So what is most important here is to understand that directing is more difficult than doing. So that means the role of managing director or the CEO at the top of the organization has to have the big picture, and he must be able to be obsessive of the future, and he should be highly optimistic, and then he must be able to create something as a mental map of visualization, and then he has to direct all the people to convert his imagination into a reality. So that's a different kind of a skill set. So does that mean that in this whole planet only very minor percentage of the people will have those capabilities, or rest of the people will all only become doers? Is a very important question to answer. So what we don't know we can never develop, but what we know we can always develop. So going forward, I will explain in greater detail that how do we sharpen our big picture, how do we improve our visualization skills, and then develop our competencies as we can move along in the organizational ladder. I hope this session has given you some perspective to understand the importance of the becoming a leader and their roles. So thank you very much for your patient listening, and look forward to talk to you more and more in this topic. Take care.